I did see this. India becomes the 4th country to land on the moon. So that's terrific. All the conspiracy theorists that say we did not go to the moon or ever been to the moon, well, maybe, I don't know what they're going to say about this. Okay, so this was done live, so that's good. But what does this have to do with Bitcoin? Well, India happens to be part of BRICS. And the BRICS summit is ongoing right now. And one of the major things that will be discussed in the summit is how to reduce the dollar reliance. Because basically right now, every country on the planet is making trades with the USD, right? USD is the reserve currency of the world, and it's used for everything, buying oil and, paying for goods and services and everything, right? International trades. Also, the U.S. Treasury notes and bonds, right, are held by many, many nations. Anyways, the BRICS nations do not like this. There's rumors that they may even come up with their own currency, a new currency, maybe a digital currency, a CBDC, right, that the BRICS nations will use instead. So this has a lot of people worried. Now, I don't think this is going to happen anytime soon. Getting off the USD standard is going to take some time, but this could be the beginning of the end. Even Robert Kiyosaki have said this too. So there are a lot of people that are very worried, obviously, about the BRICS nations coming up with something else and getting off the USD. If this is the start of the end of the USD, of course, it's a great time to be loading up on Bitcoin. You need something that isn't controlled, okay? Isn't controlled by any nation. What better reserve currency than Bitcoin? But of course, there's other major things to look forward to. Odds of a SEC approving a spot Bitcoin ETF is better than 50-50, according to Marathon Digital, who is also a miner, right? But other analysts think it's way better. Could be more like 75% chance to get approval, right? So that's also coming within the next 4 to 5 months. All the deadlines, the ARK Invest spot Bitcoin ETF deadline is in January. BlackRock's in March, right? So not too far off. Again, these are huge, huge catalysts. Barstool Sports, Dave Portnoy, is saying that they will be definitely adding Bitcoin to their balance sheet. Now, Dave Portnoy, I mean, he's on and off, and he was Mr. Safe Moon back in the day. Okay, so I was not a fan of that. Hey, it looks like we're wearing the same color shirts. But, this guy's, I don't know if his intelligence and genius level must be high. And that's because, in case you guys didn't know, he sold Barstool Sports for $515 million to Penn Sports. And Penn recently sold themselves to ESPN because they want to get into betting, sports betting. And they didn't know what to do with Barstool Sports. It was preventing them from making that happen. So they sold it back to Dave Portnoy for $1 freaking dollar. So he bought a $550 million company that's actually arguably worth more, evaluated close to like $850 million for $1 freaking dollar. Okay, so just think about that for a second. I mean, I don't know what kind of genius level he's at, but that's just crazy. Okay, and if he's going to be adding Bitcoin to his balance sheet, right? Awesome. Even better, right? So that's pretty cool. So right now, Bitcoin is still doing its thing, not doing a whole lot, moving sideways, right? But here's the thing. I always talk about the fundamentals, right? This is definitely part of fundamentals. The network effect, right? And the miners, they're mining Bitcoin, the ones that are powering the network. Did they go away? Did they shut down? Are they getting discouraged? The answer is no. The hash rate is at an all-time high right now, despite the fact that Bitcoin is hovering around 26,000. Did they leave? No, right? The network, the network is the strongest it's ever been in Bitcoin's history. Okay, and what does that mean? The more hash rate, the higher the difficulty, means that the network is more secure and not prone to attacks. Bitcoin's network is arguably the securest network on the planet because it has never been hacked before, right? It's basically impossible to hack because to do a 51% attack on Bitcoin, you would need a massive amount of mining power to be able to do so. And it's just, you can't even do that. You can't even accumulate enough miners to be able to do that, even if you wanted to. And it gets harder and harder every single day as the hash rate and difficulty goes up, right? So this is fantastic. So the miners, they know this is not time to be leaving. They know that it's a race till the end. There's only 7% left to be mined. And each one is going to be invaluable in the future. Each Bitcoin could be over $1 million 10, 15, 20 years from now, right? So why would you give up now? It doesn't make sense. You don't want to transfer that wealth to someone else, right? It's the same thing for retail investors, which is why, again, when things are low, it's a great time to be buying and accumulating. This is kind of funny, but it is and it isn't. It's just really obvious. You know, I've shown a lot of charts, and when you zoom out, you realize, I mean, this is just how it is. I mean, there are periods where it just gets scary and you go sideways, right? When you zoom out, you don't really realize it. There's a lot of dips and valleys, right? But overall, you're going sideways until you're not and you move upwards, right? It's going to be the same thing this time around. It's no different. History is not repeating, but it is rhyming. And the reason why it rhymes for Bitcoin is because the fundamentals keeps getting better and better and better and better. And ultimately, it comes down to supply and demand. And supply keeps decreasing and demand keeps increasing. It's just, if you don't trust anything else, just trust that. Supply and demand, okay? Demand is going to keep on going up as the world embraces Bitcoin, blockchain, decentralization, right? And supply will keep decreasing due to the halving events and due to the long-term holders that keep on accumulating DCA. Here's another chart, technical chart. This is measuring RSI, which I actually brought up yesterday. The daily RSI is extremely, extremely low, extremely oversold. Another reason why to be loading up on Bitcoin. You see the last two times the RSI on a daily chart was this low was when we had the COVID crash, okay, and the low of 2018. The last two times this has happened, Bitcoin was below $4,000, right? So think about that.